Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
This is the German version.
This is the German version. Apology to any German listeners right now.
No,
not yet.
No, okay. Welcome to the Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show. This is Julia and I doing our German version of Major Tom. So good these days. It's not so good. My German's terrible. It's been a while.
Oh.
My German's not good.
I love this song.
I
love this song too. I wish I knew it in German.
Here it is.
Next week we play Falco. To go to Austria.
All right.
Below us,
Anyway, I'm sorry.
For everything.
Apologies, iTunes and YouTube. Let's start this over. Welcome to the Blacklist AFTERBUZZ After Show. As always, I am Joe Braswell here. I wasn't here last week, so that sucks.
So it wasn't all as always.
No.
So you lied.
And we both survived.
2 minutes in, and you lied. And look, we're best friends now. We're besties.
Yes.
We're besties.
You guys. Well, now that you finally did it. I mean,
hope your husband's not listening.
That's what I meant. I'm kidding. I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined as always by the lovely Nando Velasquez.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
And I'm also joined by the super lovely Julia Cearley.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hi. And on the phone, I'm joined by Raymond Reddington himself, James Spader. James, are you there?
Yeah, wouldn't that be beautiful?
Oh, no. You sound a lot like Joe Sanfelippo.
Oh, it's Joe Sanfelippo.
And now it's a huge disappointment. Thanks, Brad.
Joined by Joe Sanfelippo. I'm sorry.
A huge disappointment.
Thanks, Joe. I'm glad you called in. You and I were absent last week, but we're all here together in spirit.
Just throwing something off the table.
It's okay.
Okay.
Joe, you
Putting
still there?
in 3D.
I'm here.
All right.
In.
So we're going to talk about this episode. This is T. Earl King.
The 6th.
The 6th. Number 94 in the Blacklist?
Yes.
Or did I make that up?
No, it is number 94.
Right. But it's really actually the King family. It's not just T. Earl King. It's a king and his 2 sons.
It's really the King family.
Bit of a dynasty.
The dynasty, the King dynasty.
Yeah.
T. Earl King.
Been around a while.
6 generations, apparently. Yeah. Over 100 years of crime and bad stuff.
Over 150 years.
150 years.
Yes.
That's true.
Of indentured servitude, all these illegal auctions.
Yes.
Thefts, all the stuff. Very creepy family.
Yeah, very creepy. We'll get into that. But like before we get into that, let's talk about the episode. Let's do it with first impressions. Julia, I know you're a big fan of this episode. Tell me, what did you think of the episode?
I thought this episode was a cool idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I thought
It was good on paper.
it wasn't necessarily executed the way I would have wanted it to be, but I thought it was super fun. It was a good time. I loved Cooper in this episode. Cooper going rogue.
Cooper they finally gave Cooper something to do.
For God knows how long.
Joey Flip, they finally gave our man Cooper something to do. You saw that?
Dude, he didn't yell at Nairobi. He didn't have to. Nobody even got a damn it. He was awesome. That was great.
He was great.
Solid.
And he's got a little back.
Got some work.
Harry Lennox did work. They gave him a little backstory. They gave him a little, this whole thing with we finally got the reveal as to what's going on with the cancer, the tumor. Looks like he's on the hook a little bit with his new buddy. A little quid pro quo.
That's a little dangerous.
A little dangerous. Could be something there.
Could be something there.
Yeah. There's something to do. So I like it.
Nothing comes for free, right? So I kind of had a feeling from the get-go when he was sort of ushered into the clinical trial that, there'd be a little payback for that. So I was interested to see how that was going to come about.
He's getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose. I love a Cooper with nothing to lose.
Look at Cooper with nothing to lose. Nando, what did you think of this episode?
I'm amazed that you didn't bring up the one thing I thought you would have brought up.
Well, I didn't get to yet.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't get to yet. That should have been the first thing on your mind.
Tom.
There you go.
There we go. There you go. What else do you need? Tom.
There you go. Tom. Yeah, actually, I loved Cooper. Let me echo that. Seeing Tom back, you know what? I didn't realize how much I missed him. I missed him as much as Julia. So I saw him take his shirt off. So I saw him shave and get all tatted up.
Yeah. All I said was, look at those shoulders.
That's what you said. Yes. I did not say that. Actually, you know who I was excited to see? Who we're going to see more of, it looks like Lance Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a cool addition,
cool.
right?
That's a cool little addition. I mean, we just saw him for a split second, but yeah. Looking pretty good, so it looks like we're going to see a little more of him. And yeah, again, this whole family, you know what? We've been joking for the past couple of weeks that we just get tired of seeing Lizzie and Ressler always getting captured and having to get saved. So at least it was a twist seeing Red get captured pretty easily.
And Lizzie saved
by Madeline Pratt. You know, and the King family.
And you know, I always love it when Lizzie goes undercover. That's when she's my favorite. Lizzie is when she goes undercover and assumes another personality.
The more
you are a liar. Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to me, Julia. We're friends.
It's my favorite Lizzie.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
I'll let that one slide. Flippo, what'd you think?
It's funny because I'm just listening. I can't see you guys, so I was like, "Oh, Juliet," and then I realized, no, that was a lie.
I tried.
I actually really liked this episode. I thought this had a lot of style. It had a little. I thought it was some really neat stuff, and I love the idea of the creepy old family. I love the more money than brains kind of creeped out old money. You know, an East Coast huge mansion with hangers on. I love that idea. I think that was a lot of fun. I thought it was a fun episode, and I really liked Tom. I liked that in scene with Tom. The fight there in the German bar.
Yeah,
that was great.
Sure.
I bought it. I was in.
I think I was back and forth. First I was out, and then I was in. Then I'm kind of out, and then I'm in on this episode. Overall, I kind of tend to agree with you, Joe. I think it was a fun episode. I think we got a lot. It was great to see Lance Hendrickson, as we saw. That was cool. Him and Tom together. I'm the one who really didn't care about Tom, who's never really cared about Tom. I don't care about Tom as much as the show cares about Tom with the hashtag Tom is back. And I mean, I guess Tom's testing through the roof. Tom's awesome. The ladies love Tom.
Who doesn't love Tom?
So, you know.
Don't see any more commercials with him.
Standing up.
People who pee standing up.
People who pee standing up, yeah.
No, but, you know, but it was good to see him back, and you know, they're giving him a lot more to do, and they're trying to get this little phone conversation going with him and Lizzie, and tough guy Tom, shaved head Tom at the back was at the end was kind of cool.
Nazi Tom's kind of scary.
Nazi Tom was interesting.
And he goes undercover and he gets completely tatted up for it. He's got to keep those tats.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's commitment.
Yeah, it's commitment to the role.
It's commitment.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, the other stuff. I mean, I like the idea of the auction and the idea of Red being auctioned off. I like all those set pieces. Like you, Joe, I did like the idea of the King family. I didn't like the King sons. I thought they were a little. You remember Trading Places? You know, remember they're the younger versions of. What were their names? Mortimer and you know.
Oh God, yeah, I know you're talking about those.
But
guys.
yeah,
I bet you $1.
Yeah, they're like the younger version of that. So it felt like it was almost being played for comedy, but not quite. I didn't know what to make of that, but I wasn't really buying the two sons. I did like the dad, and I did like the entire situation. So I don't know.
Can I tell you?
Sure.
Can I tell you what I think sold it?
What sold it?
I think the guy in charge of the guns, like the extra guy.
Oh, the extra guy.
You have the two, what would you call him?
No, the extra guy. I called him what you called him.
Yeah, I think the extra guy made it work. Like the two sons and the dad, you're like, okay, the dynamic's wonky. But to have the extra person there to ensure that the guns are loaded properly and all of the numbers have been observed, and you know, I don't know. I think to me that gave it a degree of like, all right, this is cool. This is fun. This guy's whole job is to watch one of these guys eventually blow his head off.
Right. I mean, you know, for the I'm not. I'm going to get into this now because let's get into the Kings. Because as usual, I'm not exactly sure. I need a little help here. So let me just best I know, Julia.
Don't ask me.
Help me out here. So best to understand, there's this family, the King family, as we talked about before. Who's
every time I hear the King family, I think of an old SNL sketch
Which one?
Back from the Eddie Murphy days. It was like the Gumby Christmas special, and they had the King family, and it was a bunch of people dressed as Don King.
Oh, wow.
And it was the King family, and they were singing Christmas carols. So every time I hear the King family, I can't, I'm sorry, I just can't help but say that.
I like to see a merging of your vision and the Blacklist to see how that would work. Play out.
The King family is this dynasty of sort of trust fund, ease or at first glance, who have we know have been involved in this illegal auction and criminal activity and trafficking of humans and other goods, legal goods, for 150 years. So that's them. They're doing their thing. In walks our girl, Madeline Pratt, who we know from episode 20.
No, episode like 14 from season 1.
Okay, season 1, episode 14.
Yeah, she has this relationship with Red. She got away. Yeah, apparently Red left her in Florence or something like that. I can't remember. It was that whole back and forth.
So Madeline Pratt gets abducted.
That's who she is. Okay.
You remember her now?
Yeah. A little bit. I remember that, the Florence thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Madeline Pratt gets abducted. Then this allegedly alerts Red that the abduction of Madeline Pratt could have something to do with the Kings, who have all of this, have all these unsolved crimes and a plethora of illegal activity that the FBI would be interested in.
Yeah.
So this is actually one of these blacklist situations from Red where it doesn't seem to have an ulterior motive for Red. It seems to be he's just throwing Lizzie a bone, right? This is actually him just doing
we haven't really explained why he wanted to save Madeline Pratt, but I guess there's still a history
usually there's
there.
some sort of Red ulterior motive, or he's trying to do something, or he's getting some information.
Jennifer Hill's really good. I'm sure they'll bring her back again, but it was interesting because it's been almost a whole year since we've seen her.
So a little emotional attachment?
Maybe, possibly. So, but it was interesting to see.
I thought it was odd that, the two things, the Madeline Pratt thing, that can't go away because they brought her back for a reason, right? So the Madeline Pratt thing comes up. They bring, which leads it to the King family, who's holding these auctions. Which Red says, if you take down this family, you will shut down 5 or 6 generations.
Yeah, well, just the family ledger has 150 years of every single transaction,
unsolved. Kidnappings and all kinds of good stuff. So it's a bonanza for the FBI.
That every criminal goes to these auctions to buy something. So they're pretty much shutting this whole thing down.
So he goes there. So they go to find this out. It turns out their lead. They got the lead. They got the lead from Aram, right? From the tattoo.
They figured out. Yeah.
They go to the palace. Right.
Which Lizzie was going to go to, but Red insisted he goes, and he beats her to the punch there.
Right, because she says, no, we don't work for you, but he beats her to the punch.
She gets all...
Right, which, the Lizzie we love. Yes.
I'm going to do it. And then he still went over there before she did.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then it's a ruse. They capture Red, and this whole thing was a bid to make Red an auction item, right?
Yeah, it was the Kings working with Madeline.
Okay, so that's all straight.
And that's why when Madeline tasered Dembe, I guess they said, okay, we're even.
She said, sorry, Dembe.
Yeah, sorry, Dembe, and then Red said, okay, I get it, we're even now.
So this whole thing, Madeline somehow goes to the Kings and says, I can deliver Reddington. Here's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Fake kidnap me, and the trail will lead Red. It'll flush out Red.
I guess that was.
Is that the thing?
Are we supposed to understand this?
I don't know, Flippo.
Are we really supposed to understand it?
That's the thing. How complicated can this? This is easy.
Yeah, it's easy. Stop overthinking it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's that simple. We don't need motivation.
Lizzie
doesn't. Megan Boone doesn't need motivation. Why should we?
Oh
wow!
Motivation.
Fired.
Holy crap!
Did
I say that?
Megan Boone.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
All right.
Wow.
You guys are rubbing off on me.
All right. So that happens. We figure that out. So then the FBI and Aram figure out we need a key to the auction to go and find and get Red. They want Red back, which is cool. I'm glad to see there was no weird moment of let him go, like wrestler coming in, Red's been nothing but trouble anyway, let him go. But they all want him back, which just seems to be great. Lizzie ends up going undercover because she takes the identity of Josephine Sullivan, who works for
Mr.
Kozlov, this big Russian gangster who
an art dealer. He wants the Van Gogh painting.
Who's on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
So we get Lizzie undercover to going in to being part of this thing.
Yeah.
Is that all correct?
Yeah.
All right, good.
To my knowledge.
That's all great.
Very interesting way that they take her into this auction too. The whole hotel asking for a room with a view.
Right.
getting the room number, which ends up being a parking space, all that whole thing. It was very interesting. Having her drink that liquid, that knockout punch.
Fast acting, very fast acting.
Acting potion.
She took one sip, one sip, and she was like, anyway, strong stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so that all happened. I don't know, man. I just sort of really feel like, the more I'm talking about this, I'm talking about it a lot. I just sort of feel like the interesting stuff happened around this case. I think the Tom stuff was interesting. The Cooper stuff was interesting. The idea of Red being captured was interesting. Maybe Lizzie going undercover was interesting. But the shell that was all in of this episode, I thought was just clumsy and bad. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. So I don't know. Joe, tell me I'm wrong. Flippo.
Well, I don't disagree that the idea of here's the only problem I had with it, to be perfectly honest, was the idea of Lizzie being able to go undercover. It's 2015. If I'm going to send someone to bid in an illegal auction, I'm probably going to send you a picture, and I would imagine that you will get the picture on your phone or your computer or both, and then you can look at it and then look at the other person and go, "Oh, that's not you. This is probably not going to work out."
Right.
That that to me is an enormous hole.
Right.
I had that idea too.
I felt like, it was fun. It was fun enough to me to suspend my disbelief. That's all. It was a fun episode, so I'm willing to let anything go because I had a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I kind of had that idea too. Like, come on, that's all they have to go on. That's all they're expecting is an American woman. That's it. That's all they have.
Yeah.
It could be anything,
I will
anybody.
send you a woman. When a woman comes, you may send her to the auction.
All she has to say is, "I'm Josephine Sullivan."
Right.
Yes, and I want a view at the Capitol in room 1861 or whatever it was. Right. I mean, I agree with you there.
And she had her hair back just like the real Josephine did.
Sophisticated.
And she looked sophisticated.
That's all you need.
Right.
She
She had a
probably
little
had some fancy
swagger.
clothes
She had a little
on.
swagger when she walked.
so here's
None of us have ever been to an illegal auction where we auction human beings and stuff.
Speak for yourself.
How do you know?
Nando,
Speak for yourself, buddy.
No, I guess not. So maybe that's how they do it. Maybe there's no ID check. It's just like, this is how we do, because it's a crazy illegal auction where we sell people. So just come as you are.
Maybe.
Mm.
I really think these last couple episodes and in general, here's my overall thing. I'm just gonna throw out another take here. I want you guys to react to. I'm not very happy with the Blacklist. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not happy with it.
What?
Shots
fired.
The Blacklist?
The Blacklist,
itself,
the
or
show itself.
The show. Okay.
I'm having problems with the sort of middle episodes of the Blacklist, and the reason being is I think that they've done a great job of building this world. They've done a great job of setting up these characters, which is great. I think that I care about Aram and Navabi and Red and Lizzie a little bit and somewhat Tom. I do care about what happens to these people in the world, but it feels very much like even Dinbei I care about. It feels very much like they're struggling a little bit to find the whole device of each week we have a new blacklister. The whole part of the show that is the procedural part. Like, we have the serialized stuff. We're going to go all these ongoing things, the trial and Tom and the mystery and the fulcrum. That stuff's all cool. I'm into all that. But this device of this procedural that we have to do every week with the blacklister, if that blacklister and that procedural doesn't work, the show really suffers. And I think that we've had a few of those over the run of the series. And I feel like go ahead, Joe.
I think structurally, I hear what you're saying, and I think the deal is structurally they're biting off. I think structurally the show needs to have, 2 scenes in each episode where you address the idea of the fulcrum, you address the idea of the overarching narrative, and you address the idea of Lizzie and Red. And I think with some of these episodes, they're biting off more than they can chew in the 43 minutes minus those 2 scenes to make it all work. So I think what we're coming up with, their shows are just coming up short because they're not able to address the overarching narrative because they just simply don't have time. Like, you can't get all this stuff done in an auction and all the things that you got to get done to make this work, and then at the same time have room left over for the overarching narrative. I think that maybe, is that what you're feeling?
Well, no, I'm saying is I think that the show is only as good as the blacklister each episode. The show really lives and dies by who that blacklister is each week and how they execute the procedural part. Like, the blacklister's introduced. We do some sort of detective work to find out what he is and what he's doing. We go get the blacklister. we neutralize him and end. Like that's kind of that piece of it. All the rest of it is all the serialized story stuff, which I think works, which keeps us there. And of course James Spader. But each week, if like T.O. King and his two dorky punk ass sons, like that ain't gonna get it for me. Well, I don't know.
You know what's interesting for me is that season 1 and season 2, they're so flip flop for me in the problems I have with it. For season 1, for example, I was totally into every single Blacklister. I was into the storyline. They were good. They were interesting. They were fully formed. But everything else that was happening around it, all the serialized things, it was just in every which direction and not focused. Now, finally, season 2, that stuff is focused. The stuff with Lizzie, the stuff with Red, the stuff with Tom, that's all coming together, and it's really been cinched up in a great way. And I'm really interested in it. Now I'm invested. But the Blacklisters, the name of the show, they have no focus for me this season.
I think I see the problem with what you guys are. First of all, I disagree a little bit. I haven't.
You can disagree a lot.
Well, I can disagree a lot. I disagree. I don't mind the Blacklisters, and I think maybe because this is broadcast as opposed to cable, because we like do other cable shows, for example. I think I'm willing to let them get away with a procedural like this, but I will say one thing about the Blacklisters in season 1. There were certain episodes that I just loved because even in the opening moments, I'm thinking of like the virus in the New York train, the thing that they got the train, or the airplane falling from the sky with the people in the park. That to me showed real threats. When Red was first captured and was being an asset to the task force, he was stopping terrorism, and I thought that actually raised the stakes. I don't think these Blacklisters necessarily raise the stakes. They seem to be like for example, we don't really know why Red wanted to go for Madeline Pratt, to rescue her, or the King family. He just kind of gave this one to them. Right. I thought it was an interesting adventure. I thought it was interesting to see Red get captured. I thought it was very interesting to see this illegal auction, but the stakes don't feel as high to me on this. But I do agree that the stuff that you guys and myself were complaining about last season, I think is a lot better developed, and we definitely want to see more of the overarching story.
Well, I think that, and I'm okay with, let me say this, I'm okay with the structure they set up. I mean, I'm on record by saying, wow, this is really cool. You got this procedural thing with a Blacklister each week. You got the serialized stuff. That's great. I guess what I'm saying now is when the Blacklister storyline is bad, it really drags the episode down, and to the point where it feels like each week we're like, what can we do for a Blacklister to shove all these things in there? I don't know. How about a creepy old son? So it's like, that's kind of that's creepy old man and his two sons, I should say. So that's what I'm worried about. So, and I've seen this in a couple of Deer Hunter. I mean, there's a couple of these that are kind of feel a little bit like we're just trying to figure out a Blacklister so we can keep this thing moving.
Kind of filler Blacklisters.
Yeah, filler listers. A fill-lister.
Filler-listers.
But so I agree with you, Nando. I think that last year there was and this year, Ron Perlman. There was some good ones. There's some good ones on the books. I think if we look at the run of the series, we can pull out probably more good Blacklisters and bad Blacklisters.
And I would like to see more 2-part Blacklisters, because I think those have been the better ones, and maybe there's a special deal for those. Right. But I also get, especially for network TV, they want to have as many episodes as possible for when it goes to syndication, and of course you want to be able to sit down and watch a show. I know after 4 or 5 seasons, but they're still doing this, and you want to sit down and watch whatever random network it would be on, like if it's on USA or something in the future, and be able to just catch up to the show and not worry too much about being completely lost. And that's what the Blacklister is there for in a procedural.
Sure. I mean, Joe,
I get that too.
Joe, what do you pick up what we're putting down, or do you want to
I do.
throw it somewhere else?
Do. I hear what you're saying, and I understand it. I think, like I said tonight, I thought it was entertaining and fun, and I think that's the point ultimately. I mean, the idea is to make a show that's fun to watch and everybody has a good time with, and hopefully it's serious enough that people continue to tune in. Although, God, for the love of all things, please just accept that he's her dad. So tired of it. Anyway,
and she cares about him.
I think we're due for a super Blacklister. We're due for a couple 3 episodes. We're due for something serious.
Well, sweeps are coming. That's
right around the corner.
Yeah, so we'll get that. And I just look, it is what it is. I'm just saying, like maybe some people out there on YouTube and iTunes think that T.O. King family was fantastic. I'm just little whatever. So
I did kind of like the father a little bit, talking like that. Yeah,
he was somewhat interesting. I mean, you know, I just there's a lot of things happening that I don't like. The kid, the little boy, like I didn't care. I mean, you know, he's in the box and he's out.
He's in the box,
and then he's the kid running around and the Van Gogh and the weird party with the you know. I'm like, none of it was.
I don't care.
I didn't care about
I
any
just
of it,
don't
right?
care.
The stakes were super low.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And then this whole whatever, I don't know. I can just trash it.
Well, the stakes were low except for the fact that Red got caught. that was the one appeal.
There was never a moment though that I thought, yeah, his goose is cooked.
Yeah.
This is it for Red.
He was close.
I was like,
Although there was, they did have that cool device when he's like, there's a lot of things can happen between here, you know, between here and wherever he's going, South Africa,
Johannesburg, which is in South Africa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Nando.
thanks for the geography lesson.
Between here and Johannesburg, and he's like, you know, I said your head, and Red's face was like, dough. So that was kind of a cool take.
and it was cool to see Yabari come back after the
coming back was cool.
At the beginning
cool.
of season, season 2.
Like, you know, how are the kids? You know, that was kind of cool. So you know that, but let's so that all happened. You know, okay, fine.
Sure did.
The auction. Red was captured. Red was saved. I don't have any real thing to say about any of that. I thought that was cool. The whole Russian roulette thing, I was just, you know.
I found it funny that they had this little Russian roulette thing after the episode called The Deer Hunter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
It was
like, we just had an episode called Deer
I
Hunter.
missed that.
Yeah, and then they do this little Russian roulette thing at the end of the whole thing with the sons have to compete for that.
Good pickup on that, Nando.
Good pickup, Nando. Interesting.
So true.
Go ahead.
Hold on a sec. Back saying now, Caitlin K tweeted me on this, and she's right. You know, his last word would have been Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying that my last word, you know, is probably going to be about somebody important in my life, like, I don't know, my daughters, my wife.
Braswell.
Probably not. I'm going to say, like, there's a zero chance unless you're the one shooting me, and I'm going, Braswell.
Braswell. Good heaven. Well, I actually read that another way. I mean, I get that. You know, I read that also too, that maybe he sort of instinctively knew she was there. Maybe he smelled her perfume or something.
No, but he was pretty shocked when he wasn't shot.
Yeah, I agree.
He was pretty shocked.
Okay.
It was like a final moment, like, Lizzie. I don't know. It was like, Lizzie, you're my daughter, Lizzie. But it was like it was a Lizzie moment. Okay. That was the last thing on his mind. Yeah. Or the first thing on his mind, whatever.
Right. That she really waited till the last minute, though. The hammer was cocked on the old pistol. And then, you know, he almost got shot. And then,
yeah, well.
Anyway. Okay, so that'll happen. That was cool, man. It is what it was. And I love the ending where the ending where, like, he shoots Earl T. King, and it's like, what are the odds? I mean, I think that was
that was funny.
Well played.
That was pretty cool.
That you know, there's some humor there, and you know, I like.
You know, he spadered the shit out of that. He
did.
As he does.
He did. But I do want to talk about Tom a little bit. So at the beginning of the episode, they teased us last week with a lot of guess who's coming back, and then he didn't come back.
Sure didn't.
You know, but next week he might really come back. And then he finally,
next week
he finally came back.
Oh, he may come back next week
with a cold open of just Tom and Lance. And I thought, like, today I'm rewinding. I'm like, when did Lance show up? Did I miss something? You know.
And he's desperate to get back into the field.
Yeah, get me back into the game.
And I believe I looked up on my IMDb. His name, I think, was Bill McCready. McCready, I believe it was. Bill McCready.
So that was kind of cool. So he's desperate to get back in the field. He has something in German, in Germany.
Oh, it's for German.
Or not in Germany, but he just has no German. I guess it's in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, it's neo-Nazi. In Germany. Yeah, I guess so.
It's in Johannesburg.
I don't know of any in Johannesburg.
Help me out, Nando.
In Germany.
All right, so...
Germany.
Okay,
it's the latest bar in New York. Everyone just speaks German.
But what?
And they just dress up like neo-Nazis. They go there. It's downtown Manhattan.
It's all the rage.
Yeah. What did you make of this phone call? Well, Joe, what did you make of this phone call to Lizzie? Like, did you? I mean, that was a little surprising to me. And I didn't like.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Lizzie seemed a little too, for someone having her life ruined and who she kept in the barge for so long, and
so, like,
who she might go down for because whatever. Like, she's like, oh, hey, Tom.
Yeah, it was so like, hey, what's up?
What up, Tom?
Hey, like, I'm not surprised to hear from you right now. Hey, what's going on?
I really liked it. I thought that was a neat choice. I thought that was I like that we find that both of them find themselves in this spot where they need somebody to talk to, and there's really nobody else.
Well, here's the question, though: how have they been in contact this whole time? Because there was no. But there was no moment of like, oh, hey. It was just like, hey.
I think that was an actor choice.
Was it?
Maybe.
Well,
I
they make really good choices.
I thought it worked for me, and I liked that the conversation went longer than it needed to, and I liked that they both wanted something.
Yeah.
They both wanted that contact. They both needed it. I like that.
I agree. I agree with you, Joe. I agree with I felt like that was sort of the way the scene was conceived, and I do agree to sort of start something there of like these two people who were married and close, and then forced to be apart and hate each other, and now they still have this bond, and even though they're on opposite ends of the earth and doing these different jobs, still have each other, so clearly care about each other. So there may be redemption for Tom yet. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, now they
or
have
it could
this.
just be,
Tom and Lizzie.
It could be that there's no one that she could be more honest with, because there's no one. There's no one that has there's no secrets left between them. I mean, it's all on the table. They all, there's no.
Well, they also murdered a person together too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's the only person she could talk about that too. Well,
Right.
I guess she's kind of wrestler too.
Which we'll find out. Which we'll see next week.
Yeah, no, for you last week that really cool scene when Lizzie was choking the deer hunter, and she was becoming her husband.
A la Tom.
Just like the deer hunter became her husband.
Yeah.
Or the deer hunter. Yeah. Amanda Plummer became the deer hunter. Yeah.
So what do we think a little bit about what do we think this means for Tom? So Tom goes off on this mission, sent to him by Lance, the mysterious figure Lance Henriksen. What's his name?
McCready.
Bill McCready. Mm-hmm. He's off in Germany to be a part of this thing. So I mean, there's a tease that we know we saw. We don't like to talk about previews that much, but like in the preview, we see that we have to find Tom. It's the highest priority to find Tom to bring him back to help clear Lizzie. I mean, where's this going, Julia? You're good at the predictions. Where's this going?
Well, prediction-wise, and just remember when it comes to predictions, I already said this,
yes.
is that I believe that he's going to be so deep into this new persona that he's taken on, this what's his name, Christoph Mannheim, that he's going to be very reluctant to help even his love, if you will, Lizzie, to get her out of whatever this situation is with the harbor master. I think he's just going to be too deep. They've established that they have this sort of relationship and this rapport over the phone. Hey, it's me.
Cover? Hey, me too.
Oh, sneeze a little bit. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Which of course she was going to sneeze.
Yes.
Of course she was.
Trick of the trade.
It was adorable.
So I think she's depending on that, and then when she needs it, she's not going to have it because he's going to be too deep undercover. Just remember that was my prediction.
Okay.
Just when it comes to predictions, Nando, just remember I already said it.
I was not listening to the last 2 minutes.
Okay. Joe, you're already a record by saying you love neo-Nazi Tom and you love the whole thing, right? You were cool with that, all that?
You're kind of people,
Let's be very specific. Neo-Nazi Tom and love it. I don't love neo-Nazi any goddamn thing, but yes, I do like Tom.
I just said last year on Twitter, Joe Flippo loves neo-Nazis.
Totally love neo-Nazis.
Okay.
I love Tom. I don't love neo-Nazis.
I like where they're going with it. I think it's a neat choice, and I think I wish it hadn't been Mannheim because I just keep thinking Steamroller, and that's all then I giggle.
I did
too. Go for it.
That's it. Okay, that's all. All right. Well, I'm curious to know what you guys think out in YouTube and iTunes about the Tom situation, and am I, it seems that I'm the only one who doesn't really care about Tom that much, but.
No, you should care.
I'm the other one. Do you care about Tom?
I care about Tom.
Right.
I'm kind of glad to see him back.
Hashtag Tom is back.
I'm surprised. I'm glad to see him back. I think I was like waiting to get rid of him in season 1 until finally he became a spy. Finally, the whole thing was figured out. Then it was really
got some
interesting.
answers. Yeah, it became interesting.
Yeah,
once you knew what you're dealing with.
That and those Ford commercials. Yeah.
We're gonna write
and then I bought a Mustang.
We're gonna write on the show, and I'll be like, Tom, I've always loved you.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm so glad you're back.
Tom, you've always been my favorite.
Kidding.
It seems to me like they kind of dipped their toe in the idea of maybe Wrestler and Liz having something going on, but the complete absence, the astonishing absence of any kind of chemistry, I think, and obviously Tom tested out real well. So they brought him back. I think it makes sense.
Right.
From a show standpoint, there was nowhere to go with Braswell and Lizzie. There's no way if you do that in season 2. Number one, there's no payoff because the chemistry. But if you do it in season 2, you got nowhere to go. And it turns out the audience loves Tom, and Tom and Liz still have some actual spark. Yeah, bring them back. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Joe, did you just go?
I did.
Okay.
A little raspberry.
A little raspberry over the Skype. That was a little sweet.
Raspberry.
Two quick things.
You're going to tell me that's not a good auditory description?
It was perfect auditory description.
I totally got what you were saying.
I do, just really quickly, I do want to address, we talked about Cooper. I think that, I'm really excited about what Cooper's doing. I wonder if he's in the clinical trial, so maybe hopefully he can be miraculously
cured. But he finally tells us exactly what it is that he has. Because it's been kind of like a big secret. I mean, so it is cancer. He's got the big C.
He's got the big casino.
Yeah.
Big fat tumor.
And it's a brain
left
tumor.
side of his brain.
Yeah, and it's a brain tumor, and he only has weeks to live, according to
And he ain't got shit to lose.
Cooper has gone rogue.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
He loves kicking ass and chewing bubble gum when he's on bubble gum. I can't. Sorry. Never mind.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't know why. Anyway, I'm sorry. Flippo, nothing. Sorry. Let's just pull it together. Okay.
Boy.
So I'm really happy about the Cooper situation, and I think that usually, him that reveal over that exposition was cool. Sometimes a little clunky when you do that sort of. That find a way through exposition to tell what's going on. I thought that was a really clever way of doing it. I like that a lot. And having him being a little bit of trouble and a little bit, on the dark side, making some bad moves is kind of cool too. So I really like to see where this is going with Cooper.
Between Tom and Cooper, I'm just excited that the peripheral characters are getting a little bit more depth and something more to look forward to for us to view and see. And that's what I've been waiting for, because I mean, up until now, I'm just like, give me more Spader.
Yes.
Spader. Give me
and a
some.
Rom.
Now there's
and a Rom.
Okay, that's true.
Although we didn't really see
Rom.
much of a Rom this episode.
And also, I just really quick wanted to touch on that last scene. I mean, they made a point in the middle of the middle of the auction to say that no one cares about you, Red. You're only as good as. Only the people care about you, the highest bidder, blah, blah, blah. No one cares about you unless you're paying them or whatever. And Lizzie cares about him. That was kind of sweet. And so Lizzie...
Today, this episode. Just wait until next episode. She'll hate him again.
I don't believe you, Red.
Well, after the end of last week's episode...
Yes.
After the end of last week's episode, when Red was like saying how she doesn't want to lose him or whatever,
Yes.
So...
Then the moment in the car, where Red was saying, very, very well acted by James Spader, was saying, don't do that again, Lizzie, which is basically meaning I care about you and I don't want to see you hurt. And and Lizzie sort of went back at him and said, you've never been hurt. How'd it go, Julia? What's that last scene? How'd the last scene go?
I'm not talking about it.
What happened?
I'm not talking about it.
Some fine acting.
If you have nothing nice to say.
you don't remember how that went? I remember. Joe, what'd you think of that last scene really quickly? Did you like it?
I liked Red.
Okay. All right. So okay.
No, that's not fair. She had a tear in her eye and it went right down the side of her face.
Sold Julia.
That was legit.
It sold Julia for sure. All right, let's go to quick news and gossip real quick, very, very quickly. I
can't.
Well, not news and gossip. Let's just go to some shout-outs.
Our ticketies, which is news, which we call news and gossip. Well, thank you very much for those of you who have been posting on iTunes. There are a couple I want to definitely shout out to, maybe read a few. Let's see. A must listen for Blacklist fans. This is from Kyle MC07.
Thank you, Kyle.
He just put it up today. He says, I look forward to hearing what the crew has to say after each episode of the Blacklist. There's a lot going on in the show and can be somewhat confusing. Listening to this podcast helps clear up a lot of the confusion. Wicked Pinto, also 5 stars, said what I really liked about this episode. At the end of the show, with his little talk with Lizzie, he basically said the fulcrum is just a MacGuffin, which means that it really is Lizzie who is the most important thing to Red. Interesting. Rukia Do 95 gave us 3 stars, but then said
what was that
Rukia Do 95 gave us 3 stars, but then says, you guys are great. I definitely feel like Red is Lizzie's dad.
That's a 3-star.
That's a 3-star review. They were really great. I wonder if we were 5. I wonder what they would say. Rosemary 42 and Love Justified. I'm guessing they missed some people on Justified. And Vine Not 7.
I guess I'm guessing them some people. Was that like a cowboy thing you're doing?
No, I meant you. Well, I guess that was a cowboy thing I was attempting to do. And then I had the YouTube comments. If you give me a second, I can find that.
We have all night.
We have all night. Well, then let me talk to you about. Give me a second. I want to pull out all the people who said nice things about me and Julia from last week.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll listen to that.
Julia,
I'll listen to that.
It's about Julia and me, so yeah, of course she likes that. Rads T, Marima Tropoja, Fusion Love Stories, Respect Animals, Dave 1555, Alice K, and a couple others I can't find. So okay,
okay. Okay, look, thank you
love
very
you all.
much. Thank you. We love you all. Thank you for listening
you.
on iTunes. Thank you for listening on YouTube and checking us out. Really quickly, let's go to predictions. Predictions, no drop.
All right, no drop.
Oh, there it is.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Joe Flippo, prediction. Are you still there?
Oh, he's off the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay.
He's off the line. He gave up.
Screw you, Flippo. Julia.
So you're first again.
I tried to give you a break.
You did. Well, I already made my first little prediction, which I talked about. I still stand by my prediction from last week that Tom had something, if not everything, to do with the disappearance, not necessarily the death, but the disappearance of the guy who's on the other line of the phone call with the Russian country code. And that's all I got. I made one. I made two. There we go. It's all Tom.
So I'm curious if the Blacklister next week, the name of the show is going to be either Bill McCready, because you saw Lance Hendrickson and things, or if it's going to be Tom Keene, because that would be an interesting title for the Blacklist episode. Actually, Tom Keene, since it seems like they need him.
Right.
Based on what we saw. Yeah, and I wonder if that whole guy that has the $40 million bounty from Johannesburg is not just a throwaway line, not just some random guy. So I'm curious to see if we see who that is. Right. So I have a feeling maybe that has something to do with whoever this greater adversary may be in the end.
We are on a bullet train to Tom coming back to the States and working with Lizzie, side by side with Lizzie on a case or multiple cases, or them going to overseas to work together. But Tom and Lizzie and Wrestler working together, heating up that love triangle.
And Wrestler.
They're going to be working together very soon, maybe 1 or 2 episodes from now. And that love triangle will be heated up, and we'll see what's what.
Heated up.
Do you think? I'm sorry.
And I also predict a cool giant fist fight between Tom and Wrestler.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Do you think that? Okay, we'll talk about it later.
All right. That's all we got.
Yep.
That's it.
Joe Sanfelippo's not on the phone.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us on the Blacklist AfterBuzz After Show. We'll be back next week. Joe Flippo. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Joe Flippo, and on his lovely website, josephsanfelippo.com. Julia, where can we find you?
On Twitter and Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley, Juliacearley.
And on a couple of commercials, I see you all the time on TV.
Yeah, I got some national commercials going around out there.
Look for her on
Eat some cereal, folks. Eat some cereal and think of me.
Nando.
Before I say that, I should check IMDb before I say something like a prediction like that, because next week's episode's called The Major, so it's neither of them, unless the Major is
Major Tom.
Major Tom.
Oh yeah, maybe it's Major Tom. Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
I like that. Thanks for backing me up. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nandovel, Nandovel. You can find me here also on Blacklist, not on Blacklist, on AfterBuzz for other shows like The Following, which nobody else from his panel is with me on this year.
Not this time.
And I'm on Survivor now. We got Bates Motel. We just had an awesome interview with Nestor Morelli, Carbonell, not Campbell. Nestor Carbonell and Tracy Spiridakis, who's a new character in Bates Motel. Check that out on our AfterBuzz channel. And also, what else am I on? Scorpion and I don't know, other stuff. You go.
That was long as hell.
I know.
I'm Joe Braswell. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joe K. Braswell. On Base Motel with this guy. On our Sisters Network, BHL, a show called Geek Nerd Tech. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.